welcome to this week's Square Gamers podcast, where two dudes talk video games. And I am super excited. No, I am. I'm mad excited. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Everything from Microsoft to Nintendo, PlayStation. Oh, yes. All good news. All good news. But Pedro, what is up, bro? What is up? Because, we got so much going on, and I just completely forgot that, I'm your host, guys. I'm Legendary Mike. Funny thing is, you guys should know that already. And today, we got Pedro, like every week. Pedro, what's up, bro?
Fuck is going on, man? Well, you know what? Let's fuck the banter. We got news to get into. Let's do this shit, bro.
Yes, sir. Okay, speaking of...
I'm hyped. Let's do this.
News, bro. Speaking of news, we got Titanfall news coming out tomorrow. Titanfall. Oh my goodness gracious.
Woo!
Saint
It's
Lordy,
lit.
Lordy, Lordy. Now, Titanfall put out a blog post on their website. Okay. Now, it's basically 10 ways Titanfall 2 is a different shooter. We all know it's a different shooter. It's completely different from everything else. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is trying to copy it. We all understand that. It's a great game. But what gets me, Pedro, is in this article, it's not even number 1. It's like number
10.
10?
Mm-hmm.
Free fucking DLC. Yes, guys, hold on. Let's rewind that. Free DLC. Are you kidding me, Pedro?
Bro, this is wild. This is unexpected from a AAA shooter. Something that is sorely needed and is reminiscent of back in the good old days where you just bought the goddamn disc day one and you didn't have to spend another dollar on it, boy.
So, guys, we're talking, Titanfall put out, 4 DLCs last game, Pedro?
Yeah.
So, we can expect at least 3 to 4 DLCs coming out of Titanfall 2, if not more, because Titanfall 2 looks really good. The game looks a lot better than it did in previous generation, or in the previous iteration of the game. You had hands-on with the beta. You loved it. Free DLC. Does this make you want to go out and buy the game just because of the DLC? Because I know it is for me.
Well, I can tell you something right now. The game comes out tomorrow. What retailer decided to drop a buy 2 get 1 free sale tomorrow? Target. Guess what store I'm going to purchase Titanfall 2 alongside Gears of War 4 and probably Battlefield.
Wow. Pedro.
So
you're gonna buy 3 shooters, bro? Are you nuts?
No, probably not.
Gears
I'll
of War
probably get Mafia actually with the free game.
Yeah, because you probably won't play Battlefield because Battlefield's never been your game. Titanfall, you'll play. I know that for a fact. And Gears of War, you'll probably play that more than anything else.
Hell, yes.
Well, guys, that's legit, bro. A big first-person AAA shooter, Titanfall 2 free DLC.
Yeah, it might not win Game of the Year, but god damn it, it won. They at least won Best Developer of the Year, just for the mere fact that they're going to go ahead and support the game free of charge. It's a AAA title, guys. I would definitely say, you know what, this game is worth $60 because you're going to get the free support afterwards, man. There probably isn't a game this year that's going to be worth the $60 you pay more than Titanfall 2. And I'm going to say that having already played most of the big titles this year.
Titanfall 2 is something to be on people's radars. But we're gonna jump on to the next one. Guys, we don't like talking about No Man's Sky because we're not huge fans of it. But we have to bring this up. The latest article got posted a couple days ago about No Man's Sky. Okay, now this company went out and tried to get a refund for No Man's Sky. And listen, this is the reasons they brought this up. Okay, no multiplayer. Granted, they showed it in multiple, Sean Murray and Sony talked about it in multiple, interviews, et cetera, et cetera. Gameplay, it looks a lot different than they showed in trailers and gameplay footage on stage and stuff. And basically just false advertising. Okay, so they sent this out to Sony for a refund. Now, this is what gets me. Sony sends back saying there's no mention of the multiplayer, and they're blaming media for covering the game the way they did. They said it was media's fault misleading people to believe this. Now, this is complete utter bullshit. When you have one guy, the head creator of the game, say, "Hey, look, yeah, there should be multiplayer, but it's gonna be really hard to find someone because how vast the world is." And then a couple months later, he talks about he brings up multiplayer again, or someone asks about multiplayer, and he doesn't completely shut him down. So literally, this is Sony trying to back Sean Murray, or Sean Murray. It's stuck in the middle between Sony and the world. What do you think about this, Pedro? Because this is bullshit. Why is Sony blaming the media when it's not media's fault for what was said on stage and on camera?
Well, because when you have nothing else better to say, a better explanation for what is going on for the story, you just blame the media and say that the media spun it in a certain way, or spun it in a certain way. Spun it in a certain way that made it seem like multiplayer was going to be available, or I don't know, if you're a certain presidential candidate, that they're being painted in a negative light, unfairly. So the media, man, I feel sorry for the mainstream gaming media, that kind of reports these stories and does these interviews and kind of goes out and gets scoops and has to be blamed by these big corporations or major public entities for in their opinion spinning the truth. Now what their official response was, we have double checked with the relevant team. In the description, it has always said one player, but it was portrayed in the media that it might have it concerning multiplayer. There was no mention of multiplayer within the product description of the PlayStation Store. So
I mean, so they have a valid point.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, they got a valid point, but then you have an interview that they have on YouTube about him saying that there's gonna be multiplayer. So,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, bruh, this is equivalent to Donald Trump saying, "I wasn't for the war," in a documentary, in a debate, and in the same time the debate was on, people dug up the tweet saying he was for the war in Iraq. Bro, Sony, we got the proof. He said there was going to be multiplayer. There's no multiplayer. Give them the refund that they're asking for. Stop it, okay? Let's not fight this and say, well, we've always had one player on the description. It's always said one player. Okay. I mean, but the developer hit us with the good old okie doke, the bait and switch on some. Yeah, we'll have multiplayer eventually. It's not there.
That's I mean, that's retarded. That's not right. I don't agree with it. Sony's in the wrong. Sean Murray's in the wrong. Granted, whatever was said, it's documented. It's on camera.
This is terrible.
Just give them the money. Just either find a way to make people happy, or completely give them their money back. As simple as that. But moving on, better Sony news. PlayStation 4 has some pro-type controllers in the making, guys. They're being made by Razer and Nyko, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. They're not the biggest company, but they make good controllers. Now, what makes these special, Pedro, is these actual controllers have completely customizable everything. We're talking from triggers to bumpers to actual having extra triggers, removable analog caps, all kinds of crazy stuff. Granted, these controllers will probably be $80, if not 120 up-ish, depending on which two you buy. The Razer Radeon tends to look like it's more of the customizable one.
The Radeon looks like an Xbox One controller.
Yes, and then the Nikon Revolution looks like a not I can't say dumbed down controller, but not as customizable controller. So did this is really big. Oh yeah, another thing, guys. The controllers are meant to be wired. I don't. They were talking about no Bluetooth because of the it being tournament controllers. There's no Bluetooth, so you're stuck with the USB plug-in. Which the only thing that gets me with the USB plug-in is that PlayStation only has two USB ports. So either they give it Bluetooth functionality, or you use one slot to begin with. Not considering your headsets that probably are going to be USB anyway. What do you think, Pedro? Are you gonna go buy this controller? Because I know I'm not. Not for 80 to 120 bucks.
Why though? I mean, this is a perfect controller for you, especially if you're gonna get serious about Call of Duty, man. This changes the. You can change your thumbstick so you can actually snipe the way you want to snipe.
Well, believe it or not, I'm looking at the controllers now. Guys, the Nikon Revolution would probably be the coolest because I've been an Xbox gamer for the longest time, and the hardest thing I have with the PS4 when it comes to Call of Duty and first-person shooters is the actual analog layout. I'm not used to it, so it's going to take me some time to get used to it again. But the Nikon Revolution looks like an Xbox One controller. Rajan looks a little more. I don't know if the actual thumbsticks in the center are going to be able to could be completely rechanged to where you can switch out from the analog, from one of the analogs to a D-pad or not. But it's all there, customizable, all you need, guys. Give it a check. It's coming out in Europe in the next couple months, I believe, later this year. So sometime probably around Christmas time is when they're going to put them out. We're going to go right into the next one. Pedro, this is your thing, brother. Microsoft. Microsoft is making big moves, and I'll let you touch on the VR sets for $299, bro. $299. So break this down for me, because people like me don't know all this stuff, like this VR stuff. Break it down for me, bro.
So this was part of yesterday's press conference, where they announced that there's going to be the new creative update, spring of 2017. Where they're gonna add a couple tons of different features. Where they're gonna they're gonna include 3D capability now. In PowerPoint, they're gonna bring back Microsoft Paint, and they're gonna make it Microsoft Paint 3D. The new Microsoft Windows phones are gonna have this dope camera app where you can take an item that you see in person, and you can actually capture it in 3D, and then in turn add that image to a PowerPoint presentation, or put it in Microsoft Paint and then edit it and add other pictures, and turn it and make it something of your own, which is super dope. In my opinion. They're also gonna go with that's phase one. Then they're gonna talk. Then they decided for phase two that they were not only gonna go with AR, which is augmented reality, which is their Microsoft HoloLens, but they're gonna jump into VR, which is freaking amazing. The headsets are gonna start at $299. They're gonna include inside-out tracking sensors. Which means there's no need to have external camera or laser systems, so like you have on like the Oculus Rift or the HTC Vive. The partners are HP, Dell, Lenovo, Asus, and Acer, so they're all gonna make different headsets, which is super dope. Sorry, the headset right now, it's a 6-degree. Includes a 6 degree of freedom tracking system, which is exactly what the prototype Oculus that we saw at first for Oculus, which is pretty cool. It does have an augmented reality-like system, from what we looked at. Like, we could see him in his little, we could see the dude in his little VR world where he was It looked like he had like a beach house, and he could just walk around. He had on his bookshelf were all his apps, and he had like some cool little plaques and stuff from his favorite teams. It was pretty dope. They didn't show too much about it. They just said that VR headsets were gonna come much cheaper when this new creative update was gonna come out, which is awesome. I think that this lowers the price or the entry point for VR,
VR.
and hopefully the specifications for a computer that can run VR will also be significantly lower.
Well, that's good. Speaking of the Microsoft, Pedro, they am I reading this wrong? Like, is Microsoft? We talked about this. Microsoft Beam. They bought it what, August?
Bro, they
I want to
bought it
say
in August and they are integrating it immediately, bro.
into Windows 10. Pedro just mentioned the Creators Update.
Yeah.
That's part of the wave, guys. Microsoft is putting together basically a streaming integration right into Windows 10 and Xbox using Beam. This looks really dope. This looks like it could be a lot of fun. The way they got it all set up, it seems to be a little more simple than Twitch. But I don't think it's to what they're talking about, Pedro. Correct me if I'm wrong. Beam was the completely interactive streaming service.
Yeah.
Microsoft is taking it a step down, correct?
I'm not going to say a step down. They're actually using those features. So the biggest difference between Twitch and this is going to be the functionality of the fact that you can interact, that the crowd can interact with you. So if you look at the demo that they have for it, she's playing Forza and her viewers are kind of telling her, hey, pay attention to the chat. You got a button that says tell the presenter to pay attention to the chat, and it'll tell him on his headset, pay attention to the chat. So then he goes into the chat, talks to him, or he can tell him, hey, go off road. So you can give instructions to the presenter using those specific buttons that they give you with generic commands, which is pretty dope. I think that this is going to help, when playing games like, Batman or the Telltale series. For Batman, games like Until Dawn, which hopefully they show up, on the Xbox and you can, play them together. Open world games too, that you can just go and explore and do things like that. I think that this is going to be a very, very, very nice app, killer app for the Xbox. I mean, this is something that's going to be exclusive to them. You can use it on the PC as well. It's cross compatible, which again is super dope.
It's also super intuitive too. It's telling
well, it's built into Windows, so it's definitely going to be super intuitive.
Like I was reading that it's basically as soon as you start broadcasting, it's going to send all your friends or all your connections through Windows 10 and your Xbox Live and Xbox consoles that you're broadcasting. And that's dope. Like, you would think, I know you can set up like that with Twitch right now on the PC, but as of right now, it's something that intuitive and basically just start broadcasting and don't have to worry about anything and just start playing. That's super dope.
Yeah, man, and that also brings up the importance of utilizing. Why can't I talk today? Utilizing the Xbox groups. So let's say, we're on and we're playing Horde, and then, I start streaming on Beam. It'll tell everybody on the Square Gamers group as well, automatically, hey, Pedro and Mike are playing Gears of War and they're streaming. So I think that that's pretty dope.
Also, before we move on, guys, through this creators update, they're also adding the ability to make custom tournaments. This is dope. This is user-created custom tournaments where basically, users can make a tournament and people can play in them. Completely user-friendly. Like, Microsoft is making a big push for this last event, Pedro. To me, it feels like a really good sign that Microsoft is gaining some traction over Sony. And I'm not just saying that because I like Xbox. I'm saying that because it's gonna make Sony step up their game, and with the next thing we're gonna talk about, all this, the three consoles are gonna be like they have to be in top of their game. So we're gonna get good games, good quality services, and the ones who fall behind are gonna get left behind. You feel the same way with all this coming up?
For real, man.
It's sick, like competition. I love it. Make me want to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because I mean, right now they're gonna have unique features that you can't get anywhere else. The Microsoft Beam, the fact that you can create tournaments. You know what that could mean? That could mean that you and I could sit down one day and say, hey, look, we want to start a Square Gamers tournament using Killer Instinct or Gears of War or Call of Duty or Forza, whatever it is, and we want to put $100 up, $200, $300, a fucking console. Who knows what the prize could be, and we just put it up and say, hey, look, this is what it is. This is our thing. This is how you sign up, and people could join up and play our sponsored tournament. That's amazing.
That's I agree. I completely agree with you that. That's something I've always wanted to do with fighting games. So when you mentioned Killer Instinct, I was just remember the days of me practicing one character over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I don't remember her name. She was the no. I do remember her name. What was it? Sandria or the chick with the spider chick. Long story short, guys, we're excited about that. That's something that grows communities, and when communities grow, games get better, and when games get better, we all enjoy it. We all love it. But moving on, we talked about Nintendo last week. Now, Nintendo put out a dead or an actual date when they're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch. Now, this date is January the 12th of next year. This is exciting, guys, because we're talking 2 months. What was it, like 67 days till this game, until we get a solid announcement?
Yeah, I mean, it's we have the solid announcement. What we need now are the finishing touches, bro. We've got the price, the launch game, stuff like that. They did announce earlier, or there's supposedly a rumor stating that the touchscreen that there is a touchscreen, number one, and two, that the resolution natively is 720 and games will upscale to 1080, which is what the rumored
and that's fine.
Release is.
That's fine. As long as they get the gameplay down, and the console works. I mean, we talked about last week where we need solid battery life, we need solid games coming along with it. Haven't talked about much about games, but Paige and I got a little special for you guys. We got a couple of predictions we want to talk about. Something we think is possible. Maybe not, maybe so. But you guys can hear it from us first about some of the predictions. Pedro, you go ahead and fire off, my man. Fire off what is going through your mind right now. What are you thinking?
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll go from least likely to most likely. We'll do our top 3 predictions. I'll go first. So number 3, which would be the least likely of the 3 predictions I have, is that we'll see Miss Samus Aran show up with a brand new Metroid game within the launch window for the Nintendo Switch. Probably not gonna happen.
I hope. But, I hope it's not. I hope it's not Metroid Confederation Force crap again. I mean, give us a goddamn Metroid game, Nintendo, you idiots.
No, yeah, we'll maybe. Number 2. Actually, you know what? Give me your number 3.
Okay, now earlier in the week there were talk about Nintendo coming out with their own, accessories with the joysticks. I do think, and I do strongly believe that when the game launches, there will be extra / different type controllers to attach to your actual Switch. The reason why I say that is because they've been heavy deep in controller accessories and modifications to 3DSs, and I don't think that's going to change at all. I think it would be a good idea because there's some people who have smaller hands, maybe make their joysticks a little smaller, or make it actually a little more compact for some people, or make it bigger for guys like me that have the bigger hands. But we'll see. We'll see if that comes through. I mean, I think that would be cool to be able to have, me and you buy one, and mine, I have the bigger sticks, and you end up falling in love with the bigger sticks. You know what I mean? It's that kind of customization would be cool for a handheld like this. I know it probably won't happen at launch, but wishful thinking, guys. Wishful thinking.
It's a weird prediction to have. All right.
I mean,
we'll move on.
Oh man,
boring ass controller ass prediction. All right. So number
I'm
two,
saving the best for last.
So number two, for me will be the Switch will cost no more than $250. I truly think that if they try to price themselves over the $300 mark, they're going to price themselves out of the market. There's no reason to price it any more than $250. Again, we went over this before when we previewed it back when it was the NX. This is based off of the NVIDIA Shield. The NVIDIA Shield is only $199. It's the same exact tech. The only thing you're adding is 2 controllers on the side, which should not be more than $50. This is not going to cost more than $250. You heard it here first.
Pedro, why'd you go? Come on, guys. Look, Pedro gets some of the boldest predictions, and he gets a lot of them right. I want to say probably like 6 out of 10. And so majority he wins. But I think very similar as him. I think Nintendo Switch would be $249 or $249.99. But there's a huge but. That dock that they show in the trailers is going to be sold separately, probably for about anywhere from $50 to $80. And I'm saying that now, Pedro, because I agree with you with the actual tablet. I can't see him spending more than $250, but if the dock comes with it, it's got to be more. So I believe they're probably either going to sell it as a bundle or sell it separately. Just because I can't see that whole thing coming out for $250, including the dock.
Well, considering that they said that the Nintendo Switch is a home console first and foremost, they damn sure better not sell that shit separately.
But this knowing them, I can see them. That might be the but. Like, this console is a fucking amazing, but you gotta buy the dock separately. Oh. That could be Nintendo's but. And you're doing that now because in the back of your head, you're thinking, shit, he's got a point.
That's terrible. I wouldn't buy it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy the dock if I can...
Why would I buy the dock separately? Like, that's the whole purpose. It's the whole purpose of the Switch, man. The whole purpose of the Switch is to be able to switch it from a home console to a portable console. And if you're selling the part that makes the Switch separately... you know what? Let me not. I'm getting into rant mode.
I threw some charcoal. I threw some charcoal underneath you, bro.
This is not needed, sir. Next one.
Okay. So I'm gonna break it down, guys. You're not, if you guys are like us, we all understand. When it comes to Nintendo, there's one thing Nintendo always fucks up on. They never have enough launch titles that are Nintendo. They never fail. They always put out a console with 1 or 2 first-party games, and we all know Nintendo sucks when it comes to third-party games. The only reason why people buy Nintendo is for their Mario games or their first-party games, their Zelda. Now, we can't count Zelda because Zelda will be out for the Wii U. I don't want to hear that shit. You can't count that. So I'm thinking there's only going to be 2 titles, first-party titles, that are natively or were created with the Switch in mind, or for the Switch, will be the new 3D Mario they showed in the trailer, and that new Mario Kart they also showed in that trailer. Now, mark my words, they might add an extra one, But I am telling you now, it's going to be 2, and probably that's it. I'm hoping for more. I want to be able to go out and buy the Switch for my kids and actually have them games to play, because they're not going to play the fucking third-party games that are put there. They're going to port over, that probably won't even be port over at launch. As you guys can tell, I'm really sour, and I'm very skeptic when it comes to this. Even though the console looks amazing, if they pull it off right, give me more than Mario and Mario Kart. But I'm calling it, guys. Mario and Mario Kart is all we're going to get. Pedro, you have a little more touch. You have a little more leniency with this one. What are you thinking?
It's a terrible prediction, by the way. You'll see Zelda there.
We'll see
at launch.
We'll see.
But
we'll see. You owe me a pizza, bro.
That's fine.
If I'm right.
Okay. I mean, that's
$5 hot and ready, bro. $5 hot and ready.
Is that what we're putting? We're gonna put a hot and ready on it. Let's do it then.
Yeah, hot and ready, man. Hot and ready, bro.
Let's do it then, bro. We'll put a hot and ready on it. I can guarantee you there'll be more than Mario and Mario Kart on launch. But,
for first party?
Oh, bro, come on. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, guys. You heard it here first, guys. You hear this. If I'm wrong, make sure you call me out in the comments or email us or go on our Facebook group or Facebook business page. Go on there and call me out if I'm wrong. And I will hand deliver Pedro Maribal a hot and ready with a 2-liter of Orange Crush, and I will take a picture on it and put it all over Facebook.
Be the best tasting hot and ready I've ever fucking had. Tastes like victory.
Go ahead, Pedro. Break it down.
Anyway, my final pick, and this is what's definitely going to be true. The launch titles will include a Madden, an NBA 2K game, a FIFA game, and an NHL game. You best believe that EA and 2K are going all in on the Switch when it comes to sports games, at least in the initial launch window. Why? Because Madden on the Switch is gonna sell like gangbusters. NBA 2K17 on the Switch is gonna sell like gangbusters. Actually, they're all gonna sell like gangbusters because everybody wants to play games on the go. And what's a better way to play video games on the go than playing a good old game of Madden while you're on the bus or on that Uber, taking that trip to work, school, home, or wherever else you gotta go.
I agree. I can see that game coming out. I can see those coming out. It makes perfect sense. I mean, growing up in New Jersey where I grew up at, a lot of it, I've been playing games my whole life, and the one game I bought every year was a Madden game, and me and all my friends played it. So I can see it. Even guys who aren't gamers. So, I mean, it would be smart if they do it. So let's hope they do it. Let's hope. Better yet, let's hope I'm right. So you buy me the pizza.
No, bro, what I'm telling you is, okay, yeah, those games are going to be included. They're not going to be the only first-party games, though. Like, I really think that you're underestimating the launch titles that are going to be available for the Switch. The Nintendo's going to come out swinging with first-party and third-party titles. It's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, they're being set up for failure. And honestly, your prediction, only showing a Mario and a Mario Kart, and thinking and you believe that this company believes that they can get by with a Mario and a Mario Kart within the launch window, you're wrong. You're flat out incorrect, bro. Fans deserve more. They're going to expect more, and Nintendo's going to deliver. And if they don't, it's over for them.
When's the last time Nintendo's delivered?
In the early 2000s, when there was the N64. I choose to forget everything after that.
Okay.
Honestly.
Not everyone's like you, Pedro. I'm jaded when it comes to Nintendo. You know that.
Man, let me tell you. So, well, last week I gave you the skeptical hippo eyes, and now you're doing the same thing over here, bro. Get out of here.
Hey. It's Nintendo, bro. I have to be. Well, guys, I think it's about all we have this week. This has been a Square Gamers podcast. We're going to hit up some stuff really quick. Facebook, guys, go to it. Facebook/groups/Square Gamers. Check it out. Join the group. Join the conversation. There's a lot of cool stuff going on over there. Also, check out our other page, Facebook/the Square Gamers. Make sure you go to our YouTube page. Look up the Square Gamers. We also have a Twitch. I've been streaming live on Twitch. I think that's all. Twitch.com/Square Gamers. Pedro, anything else I need to plug that I'm forgetting?
Check out our cool photos. Every day we're posting something new. Our boy Nate is posting all of the cool planets he visits on No Man's Sky out on our Instagram, instagram.com/the Square Gamers.
I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Oh, guys, check out our squad up on YouTube, guys. Amazing. We're really bad at the game right now.
Hey.
We are. It's a little thing I call growing pains. But if you want for a good laugh and laugh at some noobs and people dying over stupid stuff, having a good time, joking around with each other, make sure you guys check that out, guys. And I think that's all we got for you this week. So I will see you guys, or we will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.